Hello, scholar. Stoicism lesson 7. Can you believe it? We're getting through the 7 principles today. It's going to be great. And then we can just talk about Stoicism in general, like everybody's an expert, right? Okay. So, Stoicism, the seventh principle is self discipline. And you've probably heard this before to be different meanings for the word discipline. Discipline may be sometimes as a punishment for behavior, but self-discipline is a little bit different. Self-discipline is we're setting up these routines and expectations for ourselves, and we're gonna work hard to meet them, right? So many of you have played sports or trained for something, or even you're very interested in video games, and you have this discipline of I'm going to train and I'm going to do this and I'm going to get to this next stage. We do this with education, or at least I hope we do with academics, that we say, hey, we make goals a lot in advisory of getting good grades. What's the discipline behind that? What are the steps behind that so that you're going to get it? Everybody wants good grades, right? What are we going to do to get it? And what are those little steps that we have to do every day to make sure that we get there, right? Is it doing homework every day during study hall? Is it being prepared with for the test? Is it taking our time on tests? What are the things that we need to do to make sure that we're going to work a little extra hard to make sure we get to our goals? That's kind of the idea behind self-discipline. So why is it so difficult to stay motivated? This time of year, a lot of people make New Year's resolutions and they say, I'm going to do this. And do you know, like, the second Friday in January is when most people stop their resolution, right? They may say, I'm going to exercise for a half hour every day. Most people, by the second Friday of the year, they've already given up. So why is it so hard? Well, the Stoics believe that there are two things that are competing with us in this idea of becoming mentally and physically strong through self-discipline: temptation and lack of resistance. We are a species that likes pleasure, right? And that could be a lot of different things. And we don't like to work a lot, right? If you just sit there and just veg out and watch, Netflix or YouTube or whatever you want to watch, right? You're watching that, you're playing a video game, and you got music in the background, and you're just on the couch with some potato chips. That sounds pretty good, right? But it's not going to get you to your goal, right? And so in the recent years, we've talked about different types of parenting, and one of them was called a lawnmower parenting, where parents would just come in and take out any form of any obstacle in the way of their child. And we realized that's not a good way to raise children, because they don't get that conflict. They don't get that resistance. They don't know how to work hard to get something. Okay. And so the Stoics, one of the things they would say is you have to overcome your impulses to take control of your own ship, right? So if you don't start driving your ship, you're going to end up where you don't want to be, right? So your goal is to overcome these impulses of not studying, not exercising, not doing these things that are hard, right? Your body may be telling you, or your brain may be trying to trick you and saying, hey, we don't need to do it today. But a Stoic has that self-discipline to do it every day. And so they look for discomfort. What? How is that? Well, if you think about it, true growth only comes through discomfort. And so you might be thinking to yourself, why is school so hard? Why is this subject so hard? It's supposed to be. That's how you get better, right? If you play the same basketball team every time and they're 3 years younger than you, are you ever going to get better at basketball? No. Are you going to crush them every time? Maybe. But that resistance that you need of playing somebody your ability or even better than you is what really pushes you to grow. Same thing happens in everything in life, right? If you run a mile every day, that mile is going to become easy. You got to start running uphill. You got to start running longer if you want your muscles to get bigger, right? That's just how it works. And so the Stoics would say, get rid of temptation and lack of resistance, or at least minimize that, right? So here's the situation. If you want to build discipline, you'll need to practice it. And the experts say start on small things. They suggest like making your bed every day. if you don't do this already, right? And if you do that for a week, what do you think you could gain from it? Do you think it would work? Why or why not? Take a pause here, talk about that. How could something a little like that, like it's just, why do we make our bed? We're going to mess it up again. But why does it change things for a Stoic? Talk about that now. All right. Hope you've had a good conversation already. But here's the big question. I got our friend Wally on there to kind of make you think of that movie. What happened to humans when we took out all resistance? Oh my gosh, that's a good movie. What would a life without self discipline look like? Do you think you'd be better off aligning your actions to your goals or to your impulses? Big question. Have some time. Talk about that. See you later.